Stuff in this house. Jared. Oh shit, that's way too close. We're gonna need to bring all these yoga mats. There we go. Nice. Well, now you're just looking at yourself.
Jordan's getting his best shoes on. He's got his best cut off.
Shoes. These are actually the worst shoes. They have zero. I actually.
Mr. Ruben biceps.
The plan is to get new shoes today. If it rains here, dude, I'm in like a perpetual like slide. Yeah. We're sitting on steel, apparently. We're sitting on the steps of his house in his car. That's what we get for not taking an Uber, right? Yeah, this is about the least comfortable thing I can imagine. Oh, yeah. You enjoying that normal seat up there, Jared?
Wow, the normal seat's different. Gets the job done.
Gets the job done. All right, we're heading over to Sweat and Chill. We're gonna make this shit happen. Yeah, let's go. Let go. Sweat and Chill and also the Run Club here in Medellin are two highly interconnected communities, and I actually came into them a little bit later. I came in a few months in. There was a guy from Lithuania. His name's Lais. He's a good, become a good friend of mine and now a business partner. He developed these communities that were really focused on having fun without alcohol. And like, that's a big thing for me, right? Like, this is basically how I've set up my entire life. So I really resonated with the communities, and I was going to the communities as a participant, as an attendee, and just enjoying like what he was building. And I could see the interest level behind how he was building it. I mean, he's a genius marketer. He's really savvy with social media. He knows how to deliver a product for an in-person experience, but he also does it very experientially through the media that he creates, and develops a lot of demand and a lot of interest. I mean, he's the kind of guy who built basically these two communities within a few months, had thousands of followers, had hundreds of people coming to these events, even, without me being involved at all, other than just being an attendee. But what I started noticing was that there's this pattern in my life to align myself to various different communities or events or spaces where I'm super aligned with the mission and the vision. And if I also vibe with the founder or whoever's starting it, there's a way to collaborate, and I become a force multiplier. I become someone who behind the scenes on the operational side can help them pick up some of the pieces or find some of the gaps. And so that was really the opportunity with him and with his communities that are now my own as well, is that I noticed that there were ways that we can make it better, right? There's ways that we can introduce a little bit more organization. There's ways that we can, in the experiential side, create more connection. And so with all of my experience in the past and being able to provide value in these types of communities, it was just obvious. And so we started communicating and having conversations about where I would come in and how I would help. And this is very similar to what I used to tell job seekers when I was a job coach. It was just like, provide value, have no expectation, and see what happens. And so I started just volunteering. Like, I wasn't asking for any payment. I wasn't asking for anything on his end. I was just like, hey man, I'm going to show up. I'll hand out the bracelets. I'll, start to communicate with the brunch spot. I'll start to coordinate with volunteers. Like, I just started picking up the pieces, and then you develop trust with people and you show them how it is that you operate. And a lot of times, if you're competent, like if you make yourself not only competent but valuable in the context of what they're building, so much so that they can't get rid of you, then all of a sudden, look at all the leverage and the opportunity that you have. And that's really how I've built everything here. Like, it's been the Run Club, the Sweat and Chill, but even the co-living. The way that I started that co-living was buying it from another co-living. So I don't think you have to start from zero with anything. You can always find these different places. The men's group here as well. I am a senior leader and facilitator at a men's group here that's been around for like 3 or 4 years. I didn't start it. I don't need to start it, and I don't even need the recognition of having started it because I didn't. I'm fine being able to be a valuable piece of that community because it resonates with me, and then I can still build, kind of my own versions of these things, or I could add my own flavor, and that's really where I feel most appreciated is, in these communities is like I'm given a lot of freedom to also make decisions and add my creative input, and then continue to expand and grow them.
This is Medellin, Sweat and Chill, a great opportunity to meet you. So you know what it is, Medellin, killing it. Increíble.
¿Y tú? ¿Cómo los ves?
Súper bien, con toda la energía. de Medellín, así que no se lo pierdan.
What's interesting about community building is I think a lot of people go into community building with the intention of making money or needing it to grow really fast. And I think that that's a huge mistake. I think what needs to happen first and foremost is people actually want to go to the events and they actually enjoy it and they're actually excited about it. And that can be done in a lot of cases without making any money from it. And if you have a longer time horizon, like for me, for instance, these communities from the Run Club to, the Sweat and Chill to the co-living party things that we do to the men's group, like I don't need to make a cent from any of these things for my financial needs to be met. I make all my money through my agency. Well, I do make some money from the co-living, obviously from rent, but I don't need these things to be like massive revenue generators or income generators for me. So then it's more about building through the heart, right? And what I'd seen through like the Run Club, for instance, and the Sweat and Chill and these different things is that within the order of operations, growth is not mutually exclusive from like having a valuable community where people go and have a good experience. We can be concerned about the experience and understand the details of the experience and take feedback and be, forward looking as far as how to improve that side of it while also looking at how do we grow. And that's really what this year is about in 2025 is how do we grow this while also addressing the certain things that we feel like need to be addressed from the experience side. And that's been awesome to like have both. And that's where the entrepreneur does come through me of like looking at these types of communities as a business. It's like, okay, well, I don't have the attachment to them as far as them needing to make money, but I do want to look at them like they are an operational business in the way that we start to understand monetization paths, in the way that we treat our team who are volunteers, right? And then how it is that we provide a better product. So those are all things that I think can be considered and not mutually exclusive from growth. But the way that I love how these communities were built by the guy who built them was that he also has the same thing where he doesn't need money from it. So he's built it organically through social media and also through just providing a really great experience. And that was first and foremost why people came and why they keep coming back. Reasons why I even got involved in all these communities is that they're all going in the same direction. So there's a through line here where one of them is a lot of these particular communities are about personal development, growth, and fun, and like there's a lot of different things that they're about, but they also have this. Many of them have kind of this thought that you can have those things without substances, right? Like you can go to you can go to a Sweat and Chill, which is like a morning party that doesn't include alcohol, that has a DJ, that has a workout, that has an ice bath and a sauna. And then you look at my co-living house, it's like, yeah, well, of course we have a sauna and we have an ice bath in there. And like, it's all about like not having alcohol. And then the Run Club's like waking up early on a Sunday morning to run, which would usually mean the people that come there probably weren't out all Saturday evening partying, right? And then the men's group is a supportive group where it's all about development and growth and helping each other through difficult times. So all of this stuff, even though it seems like a lot, like I've had people comment to me from the outside looking in, is like, how are you a part of all of these different communities in a leadership capacity? And one of the things I say is they're all going in the same direction. They all feel natural to be a part of my life. And because I am an extroverted, or I consider myself extroverted, I consider myself very social and very much in my alignment and in my purpose when I'm helping to create these types of spaces for connection, then it doesn't feel like a heavy lift. We've got volunteers for all of them. We've got people that are excited to contribute. We have a great quote unquote customer base or client base, if you want to call it that, because they're, people that come back every single every single time that we do these events. And then it's also just looking at like the time commitment is like some of these are weekly events, some of them are monthly, some of them are, you know, the cadence of them also creates a structure where all of my social needs are met just through these communities, and I get to be kind of a quarterback of how my life is going in the social realm, because all these things are kind of going in the same direction. And then there's the business component where some of this can be, you know, more focused on growth and business and monetization, and that's our goal in the near future, is start evaluating how that can be done. But we want to do it in a really cautious and careful way where, you know, we're never risking the connection to the people that come in the community. And the community is designed to be connection based and not something that's meant to like need to make money. So.
Yours.
It's time to the question. What is your intention for today?
My intention is to be cold as fuck. regulation of the nervous system. It's exposure. It's shock exposure, because if you can get into your sympathetic nervous system like this without any actual threat, you can learn to handle the stress of everyday life whenever things are thrown at you. So expose yourself to the cold, to the heat, whatever it is that you need, and help regulate your system. That's what we're doing. Just wait and chill, baby.